越前ガニ
Not working.
Wow, wow, wow. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Number 8 with the weekly art challenge. The topic was draw a person riding a bicycle. I had one person I personally know who said who was gonna join, but then decided not to. I mean, kind of forfeited because drawing a bicycle was too hard. So I assume there were more people who forfeited also. This could have been the most hardest topic ever since I started this challenge. Nice beard, thanks. I'm just lazy with shaving it. So there were about like 17 posts this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 17. I forgot to rank them, so I forgot to rank them. Okay, ranking doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna go from top to bottom. 18 people this time as you. 18? Really? Did I miss someone? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I only got 17 here, so maybe I missed someone. So number 1 I had with the thumbnail, Liana. I think it's her second time being number 1. Now this one is really good. There really isn't much for me to say. Just yeah, drawing bikes. I'm just gonna point out the good parts about this drawing. She has 2 bikes. She has 2 bikes, and they have different designs. Now it's really tempting to have like the same bicycle because it's, you know, it's time consuming to look up different designs of bicycles, but this person went on to do 2 different types of bicycles. That's, you know, you don't want to go searching for that much references all the time. But then not only that, she has some reference for these street lights, not street lights, what do you call these? Street poles, electric poles. And one thing I have a concern is, now these are different within countries and areas, but the what do you call these? The traffic, the pedestrian lines. From at least what I know, they're supposed to be more thinner. The border are supposed to be more thinner, from what I know. But who knows? Some countries might have this thick borders, maybe. So that doesn't really bother me that much. Another thing I like is the details on the dark places, dark parts. It's really dark out in the background, but there's plenty of detail. Actually, with all these trees, you could tell that there's like an urban area, like over past the forest. So there's a city, and so this is more like a not a countryside, but more like a residential area. Just the small things I wanted to point out was that maybe the vanishing point on the left side is a little bit too left. Maybe you want it a little bit to the right, because this doesn't look like that is at a 90-degree angle. It looks more like a, I don't know, it looks like it would be a diamond shape if you look from the top. So maybe that angle could have been a little bit more that way. So the vanishing point, yeah, might be a little bit, I don't know, might be a little bit more to the right, too far to the left, maybe. And the belt maybe a little bit, you know, like this. Thinking about the cylinder, like that. What else do I have? The hair could have been a little bit more easy to understand, that she's, you know, trying to get her what do you call it? Like, not make a ponytail, so that then you could feel the wind. Now I like the part. I like the context here. You just have to imagine what they're talking about, but I mean, okay, just say the girl in front is like talking about how to talk to boys, you know, you talk to boys like this, or whatever, and then that makes her not holding the handle makes her more convincing that she's what's the word? Confident on what she's saying. So her actions on how she's riding the bicycle is kind of expressing how she's confident on what she's saying. So that's about that's the context here. So that's about it. There's really much not for me to fix on this. One thing I would say now, yeah, confident. I'm sorry, that vocab didn't come out. One thing I would kind of say is, I'm just saying this because there's really much nothing to fix. I'm just saying this because it's a little bit boring. Honestly, this is not. If this was like a one cut from a movie, right? It's not the most exciting part of that movie. So, although, you know, scenes like this are also important, you know, I just thought it was a little bit boring, but, you know, boring scenes are same as important as not boring scenes, exciting scenes. So I just maybe I shouldn't have said that. Okay, number 2, Baska. Don't believe in Peter Pan, Frankenstein, or Superman. Right. Okay, Baska. Oh wait, I had that one that I changed a little. Baska we have here, I think, is the only one who had like a sci-fi fancy original bicycle that has like fire wheels and some rib cage. I don't know, it's like a skeleton bicycle or something. So you could tell that this is kind of like inspired by animations from like Studio Trigger and stuff.
Maybe you missed one in Japanese section.
Maybe you missed. I missed one in Japanese section. I did. I don't think so. Wait. Oh shoot! I missed the. Yeah, I finally I found out what I missed. So I'll guess I'll do this. I'll just do this at the end. So 18 posts.
18.
Right, it's 18 posts. I'm sorry. Now this one is really good, but a little bit not finished. You know, it's kind of rough, but it's good as a storyboard. You have characters, you have expression. You could tell it's more like, it's kind of like a speed racer type of anime. You could imagine an anime like this, like a speed racer type, using bicycles. So what I thought here was it's a little bit too yeah you're using like a some layer effect for the fire and the explosion, and it's a little bit too what do you call it? I need to Google the I need to Google the vocabulary. Yeah, it's a little bit too relied on the layer effect.
Those fire looks cool though.
Yeah, but it's a little bit too relied on the layer effect. So the fire here, the explosion, all kind of look the same, which is so. I would like to see a little bit more fire that's like hand drawn, or an effect, or lights that are hand drawn maybe. And since you maybe the skeleton here that just died by an explosion could have been more visible. There's like, what do you call these, like cages that are hanging that could have been more visible. So I want, yeah, and maybe there could be more color on the skin and stuff, because this one, it's kind of like colorless all around except for the fire. So maybe a little bit more color, maybe a little more actual drawn fire might be better. But this one, yeah, also can't really say this is the perfect fix, so this is just a suggestion. Okay, the next one, number 3, Go Nuts. This one is also well drawn, except for the background. The background, like, it looks like someone else drew it or something. It doesn't look like the same person drew it, since the figure is well drawn. One thing about the background is, wait, I forgot what I wrote down here. Yeah, the background looks like, now I don't know if it's intentional or not. I need coffee for morning. I drank like 2 cups of coffee already. The background looks like he's going up a hill or a steep. So, but all the lines are so crooked that you need to do a little bit more neat with the vanishing point, like this. Also, there's a like electric pole here, but I mean,
Golden boy.
okay, you need to like know where the eye level is, and then anything below the eye level with a cylinder would look like that. Anything over would look like that. So any paper posted on these electric poles would, you need to calculate which curve it would make to make it the curvature of the electric pole more convincing. Another thing is the bag this character is holding. If I put this into more simple shape, it kind of goes like that, which you're showing too. I don't know. I guess you wanted to show more of the top side here, but it's not really work. That's a crooked shape. This side is short. This side is long. So, yeah, that's kind of how it looks like. So maybe make it like that. How many hours of sleep do I usually get? I sleep a lot, actually. I sleep at least 8 hours. So what I thought I could do here was, what I actually did was I tried to, change the whole thing so that it matches. So that it matches the vanishing point, and also made it a little bit wider so that it looks like the character is in motion, compared to this.
Make IT small. That's new.
Make it small. Make it small? Did I make something small? I just made the bag and the background into more precise perspective. So it's, yeah, I wanted to explain that there's actually there's two vanishing points here, because one, this part is on a hill, right? So the vanishing point does not go with the eye level. The house goes with the eye level. The vanishing point for the house and the vanishing point for the hill is different. So that's one tricky thing he's doing. I don't know if it's intentional. Maybe it wasn't intentional. Maybe it looks like that because it's crooked. But if you do want to make it as a hill, that you have to make two vanishing points. Okay, lawyer. Number what? Fourth one. Lawyer. Your coloring is getting really better. Your figure drawings are getting better, I guess. But yeah, I could see a bigger improvement with your colors. One thing I wanted to say here is it's a sun setting, so the largest light source would be here, so the shadows are, going that way, the characters shadow that going that way, but not here. I mean, for some reason the shadow just came from the top. Light source came from the top for this one for some reason, so you want to make the shadows go that way for the bicycle also. So what you want to do is have the shadow like that, and also this kind of looks like she came from here, and then I don't know, it kind of looks like this person was in the way. Yeah, it looks like this person was in the way, so you want to get him out of the way so that you could see that the character, with the movement the character went through. And also here you could kind of see how the curvature goes like this, and then holy shit, this is gonna end up out of frame. It's gonna end up out of frame, so kind of, I don't know, that made the wheel crooked so that it kind of fits in the frame. You don't really have to fit everything in the frame. This would have been fine. Although, since the theme is bicycles, it would have been better if the whole bicycle was shown. But in general, it could have been better this way if the theme was not bicycles. So you could see how you could kind of understand the way this character came. Another one you could do is, if you want to show the whole bicycle, you could have done it that way, right? You could have done like a higher one. Then you could have the whole tire. It won't be. By the way, yeah. By the way, I would consider this a adjacent line with the frame. So you don't want adjacent line with the frame. You want more area there, and then also some shadowing. If light is coming from this way, and then the shadow of the bicycle would hit the leg. So that's why I have it like that. The shadow or hitting the leg. I wasn't afraid of out of frame. I was right for using so-called too. Oh, okay. Do I ever cycle? If I have to go somewhere a little bit far, but not far enough that you go on a train. I also shaded the skirt here also because the light source is on the left. You might want to like check on how she's holding the handle. Yeah, I should have fixed that too, but yeah, how she's holding the handle is a little bit unnatural. No. How to practice shadow on the ground? How to practice shadow on the ground? How to practice shadow on the ground? I don't know. Actually watch shadows on the ground when you're walking outside, maybe. You could hold the fake like a toy, use a flashlight or something. There's a lot of things you could do. When it's different form. When it's different form. When it's different form. How to practice shadow on the ground when it's different form.
Draw from reference, baby.
Yeah, draw from reference. You don't always have to be precise with shadows. It would be better, but not all the time. You don't really have to be like too precise all the time. Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad, your post prior to this one were like kind of meme-ish, but this one is pretty good.
Thanks.
This one, I mean, it could be. I could imagine this kind of drawing on a like a newspaper article about heroin addiction, and you know, like an article about heroin addiction could be like below this one. But if you're drawing, this is a drawing, okay, and you just draw a normal ghost and say that it's a ghost of heroin addiction, that's a little lazy. You need to let the viewer understand that it's a ghost of a heroin addiction without mentioning it. So, which is hard. I understand, but I tried. I tried. Okay, I hope like at least like 6 people out of 10 people who watch this would be, hey, is that like a ghost of like some, I don't know, drug addiction or something? So the writer here is like sweating because of the what do you call it, the he's going over the the crave of drugs or the heroin. By the way, the posture and the bike and everything on this one is like really good. I kind of suspect that you maybe traced it from a photo. I can't tell if you did. You're never mind. I mean, if not, this is just on general. If you just copied something out of some other work or photo, you're just cheating on yourself. So I'm not gonna bother to point that out. Some Dragon Quest Live, right? You know, I just kind of suspected since it's really good. Next one, Sayako. This one also is good. A little bit rough and not unfinished, but it would have been much better if it was more polished and finished. The thing is, this is not riding a bicycle. It's just sitting on one. So it's not 100% on topic. Also, what I had to change here was the tires. I felt the tires were a little bit too, I don't know. That doesn't look like the center of the tire. So a little bit too wide, I guess. Also, here I think you need something like that there. So unless I don't think the tire would turn without something there. So I might consider that a lack of knowledge. But although the whole thing was really drawn well, so I didn't take points off for knowledge just for that. But I could have. Other things are the highlights. Some highlights were a little bit too distracting. Like, I don't know. It doesn't look like you're confident with all the lines in here with the highlights. It really looks like you're you're confused on where you should put the highlights. Other than that, it's really good. So there really isn't much to fix here. Also, it would have been the points would have been higher. You would have been higher on the ranking if it was if this person was writing it instead of just sitting on it. That's because of the theme. Okay, next one, Swampy Man.
I hate drawing bicycle now since I got so many tiny components. LOL.
Got so many tiny components, right? Yeah, everyone hates drawing bicycles, actually. And again, okay. Withdrawals, withdrawals. That can't even pronounce it. Withdrawals, withdrawer. Swampy Man. This one is really good. I think you're the only one who used this design of a bicycle. This one's really good, actually. The color design is really good. I mean, yeah. So the only thing I fixed here was there really wasn't much reason for the character to have no lines. I didn't see the reason for the character to have no lines here. So I added lines. I also, now I would consider that more like an adjacent line there. The cloud and the mountain were too close. That is kind of an adjacent line there also. So I made it a little bit farther. And the characters were holding some kind of a ribbon. So I thought that was kind of more interesting. So I just made it the whole ribbon connected. But the line, you have this characteristic shading of like a lot of small lines, which I think is a good. I think you're kind of getting it. Maybe you had it before, didn't have good use of it till now, but you could do things like that in these ribbons also. So they don't have to be all straight lines. It could be curvy lines. Is that you don't want to draw on bond paper if you make any? Why is it you don't want to draw on bond? What's a bond paper? So you don't want to draw on bond. What's a bond paper? Oh yeah, this also not really, but kind of an adjacent line there. Kind of. Not really. It doesn't bother me as much as compared to say there, or there, but kind of. So it just had the mountain a little bit lower. My Soka. This one is similar to other ones that are really good, but the background is a little bit too
You don't know the word bond paper.
loose. You don't know the word bond paper. I don't know the word bond paper. Right. What's a bond paper?
Lines for the background. Thanks for the advice as always.
You're welcome. Okay, here we have like a street. What do you call these? Like a caution sign. So I assumed it was supposed to be a hill. Like that, you know. not parallel, like a.
I don't
The
know
hill
what
starts
either.
from here, so be careful. It's a hill.
Can I send IT on?
It's hard to understand that, so I just made the also the pedals here were, I don't know. I mean, one is long and the other I think is shorter if you look at it like this. And the bicycle itself is at a weird angle compared to the background, although the background is a little bit, not descriptive. So what I had here was made the bicycle a little bit more, not too in an angle, and then made the hill a little bit more obvious. So it's basically the background could have been a little bit more descriptive. That's about it. I mean, I don't think you're not. I think you just didn't have enough time to do it. The characters in the bicycle are well done. So you could have done the background a little bit better. Although drawing a hill like this is not an easy task. It would have been better to critique if the background was more defined. Mr. H. Now this is a really confusing drawing. Can you send? You wanna send it on Twitter? Yeah, you could send it on Twitter. This is a really confusing drawing. Now, what I thought this was this character is holding a flashlight, and the flashlight, instead of a circle, it shows a guy riding a bicycle. So she's running from like some monster, and she's using the flashlight to show that maybe there's two people running or something. But then this image is like getting off like smoke, so maybe it's a flashlight that summons actual bike racer. I'm not really sure. So what I did here was I made the light more stronger so that the light source jumps on her, and then so the other side would be more shady. So that's the shade thing is not one thing, and then also I thought that this upper body is good, but then the lower body I think is a little bit shrunk to fit the frame. I think it would have been better if it was like more like that, if the lower body was not shrunk, it could have been looked like this. So either either shrink the upper body. I don't know. Either shrink the upper body or something, because it looks really weird. And also when you draw clothes like this, you want to have the curve so that you could tell that these sleeves are going back to your back instead of just on a cool stop here. Same here too. You don't want it like hitting the edge of the character. You want it to get in like a good curve so that you could tell that the cloth is going back to the character's back over the shoulder. Next, Nam, you posted this with 2 pictures. Since I did this for you, I took 1 point off completion. And we have a character who's rode on a rock and fell down to the ground. So what we have here is the character's perspective. You know, if you look at the eyebrow, the shoulder, the elbow, and the bicycle, you could kind of see that the eye level is there, right? But even though the eye level is there, the speed lines aren't going with the eye level. So if you want the eye level there, the speed line should be like that. You could just be careful. I mean, if you don't know how to like mix two drawings that you did into one, Google it, or I don't know, get someone some help from somebody or something. You already sent it to me. Okay. On Twitter. Oh, okay. It looks like normal paper to me here. It looks like normal paper. That's literally like normal. Bigger canvas, 2 panels, maybe. So what's the question? The question was, why is that you don't want to draw on if you make any change? The question is, why don't I do it with paper and ink? Is that the question, or?
I had to send my homework.
You had to send my homework. You had to send your homework with a. Anyway.
That's why I had no time.
You had no time. Okay. I'm not really sure what should. So this is what you could have done if you set your eye level to the character that you drew. Now, if I set the eye level to the speed lines you have there, then it would kind of look like that. Not look like that, but you could make a cubical character to understand how you could have adjusted your character's perspective. Other thing is the boxes that you have your text on. Now, understand that if you read translated manga, these boxes would not be in the right ratio. That happens when you translate these things. But if you're just starting from English, then make the boxes more, you know, in balance like that. And you don't really want the edge of the box to like point at something. You want to point at something with that didn't have a point in the first place. That's just I can't really explain why, but that's just how things are. Now you also want speed lines here, but you don't want speed lines everywhere. So this is one tip to draw like random speed lines.
Zero has Discord server. Check IT out. And if you have questions,
if you
there's AR tip chat in his Discord.
Technically, that you're more than traditional art. Okay. Right. So if you draw like a rough line like this, and then you could draw speed lines according to the rough line. If you take away the rough lines, you could have like a randomish speed line like that. Also, on the panel on the right, this one, when you first look at this panel on the right, what comes in first are these like shapes here, and there, because they are strong shapes. It's black and white. It's like pitch black and there's white all around, so that's what comes in first. But what they actually are just, they're really nothing, right? So what you see are these two things first. You see these two black shapes first, right? And then your mind goes, I thought that was something, but it wasn't really anything. And then after that, the bicycle finally comes into your eyes. So that is a lag you don't really want when for the viewers. You want the bicycle and the character jump into their eyes instantly. So what you could have done, this is what you could have done.
I had 3 hours to do both.
Maybe just make it a little bit grayer, so that it won't be too. I don't know. It won't make too like obvious of a obvious shape. Or maybe you could have made the. You could have colored the bicycle a little bit, maybe, so that the shape is a little bit more obvious. There's a couple of things you could do if you do it more bad. I just did it instantly, so it's not. It's really rough. So make sure to have the important aspects of your drawing jump into the whoever's watching it, which is hard to have a objective view of your drawing because you've been watching the whole thing for the whole time. So next one is Orpheus. This one has you did it again in black and white, which I guess is okay. I mean, you could always jump back to your coloring again if you actually prefer coloring. I'm kind of I don't know, I kind of miss your coloring at this point. If you that's an irresponsible thing to say, though. Okay, I think this was the only one which the bicycle was running away from a monster. This is the same with the one with lawyer. You can't really see where this character came from, because since the monster's there, did it like go like this? I mean, did it jump and bounce? You can't really see how this character was moving, so I made it the monster in motion so that you could kind of tell that the monster and the bicycle were running together, and then it ended up as a cliff. This one, it looks like this blob of like slime thing is just there the whole time. Looks like a Pokemon. How does it not take you 2 days? Right.
Shoe boy.
Well, one point of this being in a weekly art challenge instead of a monthly is that one, even if you're going pro, finding time to do your work is also a skill, and sometimes you have to do them really fast. So, can you show my points? Oh, sure. I'll upload these after anyways, though. I mean, so your points was, it could have been a 3, but I took 1 point off because I had to put the panels against next to each other for you. Context is 3, knowledge is 3. It looks like you did some research on how bicycles are a little bit. Okay, next one, Madeleine. If I'm correct, this person is it's the first time for this person to post. Madeleine, this one is a weird one also. what do I have here? Yeah. The colors could have been a little bit more light and like a cute light way instead of this. This looks like this looks I don't know. This looks scary a little bit, but it kind of looks scary. But the characters aren't that scary looking, so it could have been. I think it would have been better like this. This way, it kind of looks like a cover for like a comedy manga. So what I did was made it into a cover of a comedy manga. See, it pretty much works. Just one thing is your bicycle was too. I don't know, too. I don't like 4 out of 10 people might not notice that it's a bicycle. And I don't think anyone would think that this character is holding. I mean, the only reason I could tell that this is a handle of a bicycle is because it looks the same as this. So you could have done it a little bit more on an angle, a little bit more on an angle. Also, maybe different colors with the ground and the hair. You have the same color with the ground and the hair, so that's maybe that is not. Maybe that is the hair. Maybe that is the hair, and I'm just confused. But there's no ground showing. I don't know. You also want to make. I hope that's a leg. I think that's a leg. You want to make those things more convincing that it's a leg. So maybe draw the shoe a little bit more in detail.
IT looks like style you would see from Fallout game.
It looks like style you would see from Fallout. Is it? Oh, you mean the Vault Boy character? But overall, I mean, this style's really good. So, you could have been on a higher ranking or got more points if it wasn't a bicycle theme. Yatsubro. This one, I see you really like pushed yourself into a challenge here. Okay, one thing I want to say is there's a curve here, right? There's a curve there, but not the most important. The only, I mean, you could tell that it's a curve there is because you have that line there. If you don't have the line there, can't really, I'm not. Is that a curve or is that like a dead end or something? So you want more information there. You want more information there so that you could tell that it's a curved street. So it would have been much better if the guardrail was shown there. Also, the sea level would be the eye level. So anything above the eye level is, if you see the top part, it means that this is like on a really slanted hill. And the character here, now, it looks like this way, it doesn't look that bad. It looks like a camera from a drone, right? A little bit above, but it's not. It's someone far away. So you have angles. You have 2 different angles in one picture. So I call this unintentional cubism. So what you could have done was, the other thing, you are not gonna tell me a car can fit there. What kind of car can fit? I mean, really? Is it supposed to So you want a wide street that a car could at least fit. You also don't. Now, looking at the eye level, this still is actually a little bit on a hill, like a very like 1 or 2 degrees.
I missed it too.
Right. So what you did here was you wanted to make these guardrails like going on a curve, right, but it's easier to just go like that. It's really hard to draw like that. So try overlapping things is really hard. But that's what would happen in if things are far away and they're in a curve. So, and yeah. Now, it would have been better if there were more bikers. If this was a race, it looks like a race, but there's only 2 bikers and the other one is like really far away. You can't really tell if it's honestly look a lot. And also you try to do some weird thing here. You try to do some weird thing here. What you can do is what I did here was you see if you have a vanishing point and then you have like a say you have a box, right? You wanted slanted lines. You make the boxes into small boxes and then
Dude is in first place, LUL.
yeah, then you connect the dots, then you have a slanted line in a perspective. I think if you could Google this slanted line perspective, I don't know if that's the right word. I'm sure there's a ton of content out there that could teach you how to do these things. Ooh. Also, the speed lines I thought would have been, yeah, the speed lines here are not that convincing either. So, speed lines on the curve and eye level. Dude in first place. The dude? Yeah, the dude. Right, so next, Ikasumi. Ikasumi, same as the one with the mermaid, is going for like a kawaii type of illustration. So this one this one looks like the girl is like running on, like actually literally running with a bicycle that has no pedals. She's just, it has no pedals, so she's like running with it. That's what it looks like. Now, yeah, these types of illustrations, the main focus is that the girl is cute or kawaii. So maybe you should start by like copying like already existing anime girls, especially the face. So this one, the face, I mean the eyes are too close to each other, and so I just redid the face, not the face, but the whole thing. Not the whole thing.
Daro-san, may you make the picture in log higher resolution? Then we can check
If you could like understand how body parts, what parts are stand out, what parts, have curvature, what parts are thinner, thicker, how skirts go into the curvature of skirts, coats, and what do you call these again? The thing you put around your neck in a cold climate could be, maybe the chin would hide. Scarf. Yeah, maybe the chin would hide, maybe no. So
Scarf.
Yeah, I suggest that you like copy already existing anime girls. Maybe. Thanks for the scarf thing. Thanks for the scarf. I got 5 scarves. Yeah, directly copying anime girls would be, as a practice, would be better. Next, Illuminatus. Illuminatus, this is an obviously work in progress. So I have like 1 point for completion. But the posing and the bicycle here isn't that bad. If I could see how the posing and the bicycle would have been really good if it was finished. So what I wanted to say here was the sunset. The sunset, the sun is all blurry. Yeah, the blurry sun was the main thing that I had problem with. So make the sun a little bit more sharp, and then maybe reflections on the ocean would make it a little bit more, you know, emotional. So make sure you like at least Google sunset ocean and and Google images when you draw things like that. You'll have tons of images how the sun reflects on the ocean during a sunset. I think that's about it. Yeah. Also, this rock here was too black. The rock here was too black to be a. I think that's a rock. Is that like a? I think that's a rock. Yeah, that's too black to be a background. A little bit farther. So I made that a little bit lighter here. It's a rock. Okay. Hi, I don't know what username. This actually is much better than the ones you posted prior. Although I think that is like a river, and it's blue. I mean, okay, having blue water. I think I've talked about having blue water. Like during the stairs with, I think that was lawyer's drawing. Yeah, I mean drawing water is actually is not an easy thing, but yeah, maybe. So the blue part could have, I figured the blue part, not every blue part was the water. Maybe some of the blue parts were, I don't know, buildings. So I have the blue building and the reflection of the blue building and the reflection of the sky on the water there. I also have the green grasses a little bit toned down because the original green grasses were too green. Looks like, I don't know, it looks like toxic pollution instead of grass. And the gate of learning clear. Well, so I guess I don't know what username could go dig into the world of color also. Yeah, the green is it's either toxic pollution or some, I don't know, slime, radiation slime or something. The other thing is the character here is the anatomy is pretty odd, and also the like the for example the t-shirt she's wearing. Okay, if you just like, you know, calculate the length of the cloth here, that's shorter compared to this. That's pretty long. So either have the sleeve up to here for this side or sleeve down there for this side or something if one shoulder is showing. The armpit is a little bit too thin, so I mean imagine her rib cage would be a little bit, I don't know. Also, that's an adjacent line there with the shirt and the bicycle. Now the bicycle here, not showing the legs, I would consider it to be that you ran away from the whole topic, which is understandable because it's a hard one. So what you could have done here with the character was have the body more. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess it's hard to explain all these anatomy, but yeah. Try to brushing up your understanding of the human anatomy. Color on figure is good. The color on the figure actually is good. This coloring, yeah, this actually was good. It's just a line art.
これ海外ボットが書いたの?
So, yeah, it's just a line art.
Yes.
Yes, the coloring is good. So make sure to sharpen your understanding of the human anatomy.
How do I improve?
How do I improve your anatomy? There's multiple things you can do. You could start with like fast drawing, like drawing figures, like just like in couple of minutes, or maybe 1 minute. Do like 1,000 of those, or just learn your terms, like learn the names of bones and muscles. Well, this one's a little bit expensive. You can't. I don't. You shouldn't go buying these expensive bones from the beginning. You could start from cheaper ones. Draw me as your French girl? What's a French? Laker.
Say lot.
This one. Oh yeah, the same with Yatsuburo's street. We have the ocean, we have like a mountain, and wherever, I don't know, the important information about where up to where the mountain is and up to where the ocean is all kind of hidden behind the character. So I call that a loss of important information. Also, the character, if the sea level is eye level, and then the character, we should be able to see like the chin, the bottom chin of the character. I mean, this is just made the character into cubes, so it's easier to understand how the perspective should be. So instead, same with Yatsuburo's one. Say this one, if you put it this way, like a drone perspective, like a photo from a drone, it doesn't really. It doesn't seem that off. If you look at it this way, it's kind of off. So this is the same thing. You have two different perspectives into one drawing. So this is another pattern of unintentional cubism. Unless the character is like in mid-air and rotating or something, then it might make sense. So what you could do is make the eye level higher. That's where I have the eye level for this one. And then also this one you have, okay, this one it's okay to have blue ocean since the sky's blue, but the green is too green. It doesn't look like grass green, and can't really tell if the road is like a pavement or just sand, dirt. Can't really tell what kind of road this is, so I made it. We can't really tell it here either, but I try to make it that it's one of those roads where too many people go a lot, so there's no grass growing. And I also made it the character perspective precise to the eye level. There's no problem. I drew my bike before I planned out my background. Yeah, that happens, right? And I also made the coloring like that. So I could have colored the figure also, but coloring the figure would be too much time consuming. So make the green a little bit more actual green. Like, I mean, if you Google like mountain grass, there's a lot of green in there. So some grasses are greener, some grasses are more yellowish, maybe brown. So you might want to use different kinds of green. You also had these like I don't know what you had there. This color here. I mean,
Can I see the points?
I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be. Is that supposed? If that's supposed to be like a highlight of the ocean, so then you can have those highlights in perspective also. Clouds are in perspective also. Can I see the points? The points here I got was, well, since the character was actually riding a bike, I had 4 points for topic, but the other is, okay, other than this, the mailman, can't really tell, there's not much of a story. Is the mailman in a hurry? Is the mailman running away from something? So, you know, there wasn't much of a story. I wasn't really convinced that the bicycle was, you looked at, I mean, maybe, I guess you did look at the reference, but I don't know. Yeah, the bicycle doesn't look really legit.
He's sending mails.
Right, he's sending mails. Well, it does look like he'd want to quit his job, you know. His eyes are like looking into nowhere. Okay, the last one I forgot to rate. I'm sorry. So let me.
LOL. Looks like one of those cruiser bicycle Daryl.
This was done by Cruiser Bicycle. This was done by Craig. Craig.
Food and background photos.
Were you the one with the squid? And you might not be in the chat, but I think you're the one with the squid. Here, the bicycle. I think what you try to do, I think you saw some photo reference and the bicycle was kinda like this, but then you made it into a different perspective. So the tires are like really strange looking. It would have been better if the tires were more like that, if you're gonna do it in this perspective. What you could do here was, I did show a little bit of what I did. Now, it was so hard reviewing this topic because I'm not good at drawing bicycles either. What I did was, I started with a rectangle. I started with a rectangle, and then kind of made a ratio of how big the wheels are, and then maybe have.
You gonna stream later, Daryl?
No. Kind of. I don't know. Kind of have like a arbitrary human for temporary, and then have the wheels like that. Maybe this is not a good ratio, but I just trying to explain the way you could make bicycles into perspective, starting from arbitrary, like simple shapes like squares and circles.
PDIT looks like a construction for cow. We understand.
Alright. So, you could use the same. I mean, if you wanted the bicycle like in a real, you know, tight perspective, you could do the same thing here like this.
I thought bike is easier than car.
Bike is easier than cars. Well, the hard part about bicycle is that the human riding it is like really visible. Cars, you don't really have to care about the human that much compared to bicycles. So that's what you can do. Also, I think these are audiences. The audiences looks really close. Now, there might, I mean, you could just, I mean, they're really close.
Heroin 1 was of Nigel Thornberry. Not traced but based directly on 3 references, so I guess basically traced.
One of the Nigel Thorn, not traced but directly on 3 references, so I guess basically traced. Basically trade. Okay. I mean, you know, tracing is good. Sometimes good for your practice. So I can't really say don't do it. But if you want a review for your work, it's better not to do it, because you want to know the level you're at without tracing.
On perspective so much and brings everything on IT with the same perspective, so that makes IT hard.
On perspective so much brings everything with the same perspective, so that right. You can't really have like really tight perspectives on cars that much. I mean, even if you did, you don't see that much. Like, say you don't see. You mostly only see 2 tires in cars. Most of the time, maybe 3. But a bicycle, everywhere you look at, most of the parts is visible. That makes it harder also. About the audience here, the aspect that these are drawn really rough actually makes it blurry, which kind of makes it look the bicycle is going really fast. So maybe it was a good decision that you didn't like draw the audience's faces that much in description. Although, yeah, you could have done more. I don't know. It is a hard one to critique. Also, I guess you have to start with human anatomy and all that too. I mean, it's good. This one is obviously was drawn watching a photo also. So the hard part is that photo you watched while drawing this is the best tip. So there really isn't much for me to say on it. Just try to watch the photo that you based it on again and see how different it is. And try to copy 3 sources as much as possible. Better than. Oh, okay. You try to copy 3 sources as accurately as possible. Okay, that makes sense. If you have to wait, may you make the review log higher resolution, then we can check a bit more closer. Okay. I'll try it. I'll try it. So, Yeah, that's it for this week's Art Weekly Challenge, drawing a person riding a bicycle. Next week's topic is draw a dragon. Wait, what did I think I said? Fictional creature dragon. So the topic is dragon. So I added the fictional creature dragon because I was afraid someone would like draw, say, Bruce Lee or something and say that it's a dragon. So this another reason, not another reason, but the reason I chose to people to draw dragon was maybe I did it too hard. Maybe the topic drawing a bicycle was too hard. So
LOL.
I just wanted I assumed there were people who tried to draw this but then forfeited since it was too hard. So maybe a dragon would be more easy. It's more, I guess it would be more easier and easier to start and finish. Maybe we could, see some newcomers. So, oh shoot, I think I had a line to go. Oh boy. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Never draw a dragon before F, but I got
Okay. So next topic is fictional creature, draw a dragon. If you want to join, if you want to participate,
Dragons are also
I'll review your drawings for free on YouTube streaming. You can join my Discord server from the description below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you didn't so yet. Boy, am I gonna say this. Drawing is an act of input and
Dragons are European
output.
dragons.
Watching YouTube, playing video games, watching Netflix is all input, which in my understanding is an important part of drawing.
Darrow do DHA outro.
So if you're interested in drawing but not have done the output recently, maybe this week is the right time. See you next week. Bye. Why? Do you like drawing dragons or European dragons? Both. That was really hard to understand what I just